Hey, it's 2582 coming back at you with another video, and today I'll be reviewing a NASCAR diecast from Lionel, and this is one that was actually up for pre-order for many months, I believe since November, and now they've just started to ship them out and people have been getting them, and I just got mine a few days ago actually, and it is on this. This is the 2025 Michael McDowell Tide number 71 Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. Yes, the Tide ride is back, or I guess was, because unfortunately this is the only race that Tide has ever returned ever since like 2021, I guess. Well, not as an official sponsor, but they've been gone for a while, and it's cool that they've just returned. And honestly, this is one of the best Tide cars ever. It even dethrones the previous ones from the 90s and early 2000s. But yeah, pre-order this from the Lionel website. I think they might have already been sold out, but you probably check some other diecast days if they haven't. But yeah, this is a really cool car. This is one of the final 2025 cars they offered, I believe. Not to say that they haven't sent them out, most of them. There's still a bunch of them they still need to send out, or they're still waiting for the orders. But this one ran at the championship race in Phoenix because Tide was a big sponsor of that race, and we'll get into that in just a moment. And then there's the little side sticker, Michael McDowell, number 71 Tide, 2025 Chevrolet, and of course this is on the rubber tires and the metal chassis, which I absolutely love these things. So let me just cut and take this car out of its box and put it on the turntable. Alright, and we got the diecast out of its box, and my goodness, this is an absolutely beautiful paint scheme you have here for Michael McDowell's number 71 Chevrolet. It just pops, and you know, I actually was kind of hesitant to actually pre-order this. Thankfully, I did not just say no. I pre-ordered one, and thankfully I did, because it did sell out after a while, and it did actually make it. So yeah, this is gonna be one of the most interesting cars on my own, because I don't have a Michael McDowell car that's not the Spire Motorsports 71 car, which I believe was I think this was his first year with Spire Motorsports after being with Front Row for a number of years. And you know, most of the paint schemes were kind of not memorable. I think this one was definitely the most. And the reason I mention this is because Tide was actually a huge supporter, a huge sponsor of the Phoenix Championship race from last year, which, being a Hamlin fan, was not fun to see. But you know, this paint scheme pops. It popped on the racetrack. They had the logos on the pit road lines, so you're able to see just Tide all over the place. And yeah, I'm very happy they actually got this one got made. You know, just randomly, but it's cool to have Tide cars back. And I have a bunch of other ones I'll show y'all along with this. So let's take a closer look at it. As of course, this is a metal chassis rubber tire car, which of course we like to see those. The camera, the lighting on the camera is actually making the blue look a lot more brighter than it is. Well, it's only when you're on the light. It actually makes it look a lot more, I don't think indigo is the right word, but a little bit more, a brighter blue than it does when you're off the camera. But I don't mind that, honestly. Let's take a look at the front. Of course, it's on the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 front end. Got Tide on the hood, big Tide logo. That's always nice. We got Michael McDowell's name and the window banner with the Chevrolet logo. Number 71. Yeah, we got Gain Bridge. We got a little error there. That's very unfortunate. The design is awesome. Like, I don't know. Just looking from the front, it reminds me of an old Jeff Gordon car. I feel like I'm the only one that's gonna say that, but it reminds me a little bit of that little front end, or like that William Byron car, I guess. Yeah, we got a bunch of polka dots on here. I don't know if that's what you call, like, I guess pop art type dots. With the stripes and swooshes and such, which of course the main primary color is orange, but also yellow and blue. Well, of course, Tide on the side, big Tide logo, and their tagline: if it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide. NASCAR Cup Series with the Goodyear logos. Nation Guard, Delaware Life, I don't even know what that says. Respeed, I think, or respect. Wow, I can't even read that. We got the Go Bowling logo. Fuel Buckeye on there, which is yellow. We got Workforce, which I believe is another one of Michael McDowell's sponsors, along with his name there. Rear windshield with the number or name on the windshield banner. If it's got to be tied. That's another one of the taglines. Chevrolet number 71, safety clean, inspire motorsports with an onboard camera on there. Yeah, and the right side is the same as the left side. And a deck light we got tied. Black spoiler, of course. And of course, it's a metal base, painted black base on the EL mold. 2025 Chevrolet used under license, and it's on the very realistic and very nice rubber tires with the beautiful painted rims. Yeah, it's it's simple enough, but at the same time, it's like a very nice paint scheme with a lot of design elements on it and colors, which, like I say, it pops along with the orange as it's about to fall. That's just great. And I did mention I have some other tide rides I want to show y'all, and I will move this aside for now, and I'll turn this off and leave it on, and move the camera down, because I have a bunch of other tide cars I want to show y'all. Some old and some older, I guess you want to put it. First one we got Ricky Rudd. This is from 1997. I think this was the first year of, no, I think this team started in 96, I believe, right? Maybe wrong on that, but yeah, the Tide Ride from Ricky Rudd back in 1997. This is a Hot Wheels car, actually, with the plastic base and the plastic tires, so, but it still feels nice and hefty here. Let's put that all the way. I guess we should just move the camera a little bit back just so that it wouldn't roll, because I have a couple of cars that will roll, along with that Michael McDowell, apparently. The next one we have is another Ricky Rudd car, but this is from 1998. And the beautiful Ford Taurus, probably one of my favorite body styles with this car, with the Tide logos and such. See, I understand why people like these. I obviously also do like the Tide cars from then. But this one just looks modern, not cleaner, but it just fits well. And actually, they actually feel almost the same weight. So, if you want to get, if you don't own one of these metal chassis cars with the rubber tires, they kind of have the same weight and heft to it as these old Hot Wheels. As this is another Hot Wheels I forgot to mention, with the metal base and the rubber tires. So same heftiness to it. So I like that a lot. Yeah, a lot of Tide and a lot of contingencies. Of course, this is a car from '98. So well, maybe it's not because it doesn't have the NASCAR logo, the 50th anniversary. So maybe it could be '99, but it looks almost the same. So yeah, that is a Ricky Rudd car, another one. Now this one's actually my favorite Tide car out of all of them, even though they all look exactly the same, except for the Michael McDowell one. This is Scott Pruitt. Yeah, Scott Pruitt, the IndyCar and IMSA driver, was in NASCAR for a brief time. And yeah, this was his Tide ride. This is when the newly formed PPI Motorsports came out in the year 2000. And then next year they had Andy Houston drive the 96 McDonald's car, which I actually have an Anthony Lozaro 97, number 97 McDonald's car, but that one ran in the Busch series, or now called the O'Reilly series. Yeah, this one feels very smooth, like nice gloss on it and such, and it doesn't feel as heavy, but that's fine. And of course 32. It also looks like the Ricky Craven car from 01 and 02. It was almost the exact same car, and it was the same team, so you could kind of pass it off as a Ricky Craven car if you wanted to. And this one is a Ricky Craven car. This is slightly different. This is the Tide Give Kids the World number 32 Ford from the 2001 season, I believe. I won't say, but I think this is from 2001. This is actually a Racing Champions car, where I actually have something different other than Hot Wheels or Lionel. But yeah, very interesting design, but it's Tide. It's a Tide ride. How could I not pass up on it? And the last one is unfortunately the most rough condition car I have, and it's actually another Ricky Craven car. Or maybe it's not. I want to say it is, but at the same time I feel like he was gone at this point, so it might have been Bobby Hamilton Jr. or some other driver, but this is the number 32 Tide Chevrolet, which is a little interesting because they always ran the Ford or the Pontiacs, and then just they switched to Chevy after 2003 because Pontiac left at that point. Um, it just feels a little cursed that this team ran up into 2006, and even with the new, I guess, semi-new Chevy Monte Carlo SS front end, it looked a little cursed, but it looked nice at the same time. Yeah, pretty rough condition. Has broken rearview mirror. I didn't own this. I found it at the flea market, so I kind of understand that. And look at that rear wheel. It has suspension. Look at that. Yeah, not best condition, but why not? And of course, all of them. And we have this new one. So look at that. Fits right on well with all of them, actually. Now you can't even tell which Tide Ride is which. Unfortunately, I am missing one. It is the Matt Kenseth Tide Throwback. Unfortunately, that one, I have no idea where it is, and I probably don't even know where it would be to put this in this video. But that was kind of one of the last years Tide was actually ever found in the sport. And then after they just randomly returned with Michael McDowell, and hopefully they do return. Maybe we'll get a Tide Pods car again if they still do those, or something else. Because I do believe Tide is one of the most iconic brands in NASCAR, of course. Even long before Ricky Craven and Ricky Rudd and such. We had Darrell Waltrip. I think he's the guy who kind of started the whole Tide Ride thing with the 17 Monte Carlo. Very famous. For some reason, I don't own one yet. Hopefully that will change in the near future. But yeah, that has been, I guess, the collection of Tide Rides I have. And now this new one with Michael McDowell and the Spire Motorsports number 71. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe. We're getting very close to 1,000 subscribers, y'all, by this portion of the video, or right now as I'm recording this. We have around, 7 left. We need 7 more to get there. If you can help us get there. If you're seeing this video and it's 99 or 99, please just go hit that subscribe button. I would highly appreciate that if in order for us to reach that goal. Would have never imagined to reach this point, but here we are on the home stretch. The final few, the last countdown, really. Too many nicknames. So yeah, if you see that we're getting close, please even just 1 subscriber is very helpful for all of us, and I would highly appreciate it if you do. Just so you can see more content like this, racing and cars, and that's all we do here. And Diecast, of course. And I'll see you next time. Peace.